Hi guys, this is Sean Lynch with an OpenLitterMap screencast, and I'm going to teach you how to become an expert litter mapping citizen scientist on the OpenLitterMap platform. The reason I invented OpenLitterMap is because every year millions of tons of plastic and other disgusting waste makes its way into the oceans of our only habitable planet. And in order to combat this, you are now empowered with the tools to become a citizen scientist and crowdsource geospatial information on the spatial distribution of litter, which can be used to help us educate people and improve decision making, such as public service implementation like bin catchments, or improve the routes of community volunteers who go around picking up litter. Any data that you submit to OpenLitterMap that is verified is freely available to be viewed by anyone, and if you log in, you can download as much data as you like per city and country location as a comma-separated value file, which is ready to be imported into any GIS. So if you want to engage in problem solving and figure out new ways to stop plastic reaching the ocean, please do. Here we get a total count of the amount of verified litter and the amount of verified photos globally that's currently on OpenLitterMap, and hopefully by the time you see this it's going to be much larger. Next, we're on maps. We're going to get a list populated of all of the countries in the database that have litter verified, and we can get some metadata and we can see how much of each category is currently composed within each country. And if one of these is too big and we want to just look at the relationships between two of them, you can toggle each category and you can get a breakdown to see, well, how does one compare against the other. There's also a leaderboard, which is a competitive ranking based system, which is based on a user's experience points, which you can get from mapping litter and playing the OpenLitterMap game. Experience points are given to users when they submit images, when you attribute litter items to images, and when you verify each other's litter images as well. However, by default, when you first upload to OpenLitterMap, you're not going to be included here. That's because by default you're made anonymous. But once you're logged in, you can go to your privacy section in your settings and you can toggle the anonymity of your full name. And if you choose for your name to go public, well then the next time that you upload data on litter, you'll be included in the leaderboard for the country and the location within that country that you added that litter to, and you can compete in multiple different countries. And I think at the moment there's 5 positions up for grabs, and we can see who are the largest contributors to OpenLitterMap per country and per city within countries. There's also time series data, and this chart will actually populate itself dynamically. So as new months and new values come in, this is automatically going to configure itself. You can see that I began collecting data in September 2015, and there's just one image uploaded here as recently as April in 2017, and we now have 4 images. I've got a lot more data in the middle that I have yet to upload. If we click into each country, we can see the list of locations, be it a city, a suburb, or a region within that country that has a map view. So if I go to Cork, and by default I'm going to load all of the data for OpenLitterMap, and you can see that I've been given these 100-meter hexagonal grids, which on the top right you can see how many pieces of litter are accumulated within that 100-meter space. I can click on each item and get a full resolution view of each image. And you can see that at the moment I'm just looking at the food related waste. However, if I turn off food and I turn on alcohol, well then I'll be given the alcohol related waste for that image. And similarly, if I turn off alcohol and turn on soft drinks, well then I'll be given the list of soft drink related waste that had appeared within that image. You can also see exactly to the second when that image was taken and exactly where it was taken, and if you need to use that information, that's at your disposal. And you can also see the model and the make of the phone that captured the image, and this is actually a very good indication of the spatial accuracy of the data. The reason is because the iPhone is the leader of collecting data on GPS at the moment. What this means is that if you're mapping litter along a street with the iPhone, you're going to get a continuous spread of data for every photo that you capture. However, with an Android, at least with the Samsung Galaxy S3 that I've experimented with, or I think I've also experimented with the 5, you might get 20 photos clustered over here, you might get 20 photos clustered over here, you might get 20 photos clustered over here. They're quite accurate, but the temporal revisit frequency is quite restrictive. However, this is something that's actually quite likely to change. If we go back to our data, we can also filter our data by time. So simply by updating this bar, you can now see at the bottom that the dates that we've chosen have been appended to on the URL, and we can also change the size of the hexagonal grid. So the next time that I upload this, you can see that the 5th of April 2017 and the 14th of April 2017 will be loaded. Which you can also change within the URL bar. And you now, instead of a 100-meter grid, we have a 334-meter grid. I think this goes up as high as 500 meters. It does. So now you can actually change this directly in the URL bar, and you can see you'll be able to make different assumptions based on the litter in your location, and I'll leave you play with that in your own time. So if you'd like to sign up, on a free account you can upload 1 image a day, and an image a day will keep the litter away. And you can verify 10 images every day, and this will increase with experience points. So as you play the game and as you generate experience points, your allowance on a free plan will upload, and I think that begins at level 10. However, if you'd like to upload more than that, and you'd like to upload up to 40 images a month, well, for as little as 30 cents a day, or €9 a month, you can sign up for a subscription to OpenLitterMap, and you'll be able to upload 40 images in one day once a month, which would be a significant contribution to OpenLitterMap. Or for a maximum of just €1 a day, you'd be able to upload 1,000 images a month, or 1,000 images in one day, which would be an absolutely massive contribution to OpenLitterMap, and would enable me to hire graphic designers and other artists and other developers to really improve this innovative platform. So OpenLitterMap accounts for a range of different types of litter. The most commonly littered item in the world, I believe, is cigarette butts, which are made of plastic, and it's not actually the plastic in a butt that we need to be worried about. It's troublesome, but there's bad news to go with it. When someone smokes a cigarette butt, that plastic butt will accumulate the chemicals from the rest of the cigarette, and when that light an easily rolled cigarette butt makes contact with water, which it inevitably does when it's just chucked onto the ground, well, you can do a very simple experiment and get a glass jar with a handful of smoked cigarette butts and pop them in, and very quickly you're going to watch that water quality degrade into some disgusting fungus and gunk. What's also interesting about this is that all of the butts will sink, and this is done by design. You're never going to see a plastic tipped cigarette butt floating around in the river, because if you did, well, people might start giving out about them. So they are designed to sink as quickly as possible. What's also interesting about cigarette butts is the color is made to be visually unobtrusive. If these were a luminous green or something that was much more awkward on the eyes, well, then they might be much easier to spot, and people again might start giving out about them. But who knows, if we start crowdsourcing data on OpenLitterMap and revealing the spatial distribution of litter, well, then people might start giving out about them as well, and you are now empowered to do that. What's also worrying, and this gets worse, I'm very sorry, but the urban infrastructure that we walk on and that we drive on and that we live on is actually designed to facilitate the illusion of what I call urban cleaning. And this means that you think the place, or you might think the place, is getting cleaner, but really what's happening is things are just being swept out into the ocean. So potholes, manholes, gutters, drains, and these hideous curbs that are punctured with holes are designed to facilitate what I call the illusion of urban cleaning, and you can read into that in more detail if you like. So what I'll do now is I'll log into my test account, and I've verified the email in the database for this test account, and you just remember to verify your email if you'd like to log in. And here I've got some images that I'd like to upload. So I can drag these in, and that has been approved. You will get an error if the image is not geotagged. OpenLitterMap will not accept non-geotagged images. So make sure you enable the GPS on your device, and I'll make sure to include some detailed instructions about how you go about that. On an iPhone, I think it's location privacy settings, and turn your location services on. And on an Android, I think you have to open the camera app, go to your options and toggle enable geotagging. And you might also have to turn the GPS on your camera on. And really, with the Android, it depends on what kind of a device you're using. So that's been uploaded successfully, and I can now categorize that with my profile. So on this account, I've only uploaded one photo for October 2015 when that image was taken, but as more data is added here, this graph will automatically categorize itself. You can see here that I've reached level 1. I currently have 17 experience points, and I need a total of 20 experience points to get to level 2, and I'm 70% of the way there, and I've also unlocked a couple of awards. You can see that I'm on a free subscription. I don't have any images remaining to be uploaded, and this will reset itself at night. One of my images has been verified, which you can see here, and I've only have one item of litter verified here. Okay, so this is the image categorization tool, and you can see that this is the 33rd image uploaded to OpenLitterMap, which was uploaded just 46 seconds ago. We've got the coordinates of the image, which have been reverse geocoded into a physical real-world address, and the item, by default, we assume that it's still remaining. If you are someone who clean up as you go and you take the litter away with you, well, you can toggle this and you can say that it's not remaining anymore, I've taken it away. However, by default, when you create an account, we assume that all of the litter is still there. However, if you're someone who cleans litter as you go, well, in your settings, you are able to change that, and you're able to say, well, every photo that I upload is actually not there. This is something that's still in beta, but we're going to play with it and we're going to test it and we're going to see how it works out. So in this image, I've got a can of Red Bull, I've got a can of Coke, I've got a top of a coffee lid and some sweet wrappers. So I don't have anything for smoking related waste in this instance, which is actually very rare. However, I do have some soft drinks, and I have a tin can, so I can add that into the collection, and if I want to remove that, well, I can just click that out again. Well, I'll leave it there for now. We also have a tin can for Red Bull, so I'm actually going to update this to 2, and you can see this updates, whoops, immediately. And I've also got a coffee lid, so I can go to coffee related waste, and I've got a coffee lid, and I just have one of them, so I can add all of that data in. And finally, that looks like a sweet wrapper to me, so I can go to food, sweet wrappers, and I can say 2, and I can add that in as well. And now my data is done. So when you're confident that your data is fully attributed, you can then submit it for verification, and you don't have the ability to edit this later yet. But once I submit this, that was done very quickly, and you get a notification saying success, thank you very much. When you click OK, it'll refresh, and now your image has been submitted for verification. So I don't have any images left to verify. My uploads is 1, so I can't upload anymore until tomorrow, but I could use a hand actually verifying some of the images. So now you can see that on my admin account, I have included my name and my unique identifier as public, so they will be included on the verification. However, what you could do is in your settings, you can change this to private, and it'll just say it's uploaded by an anonymous user. You can see that this verification has reached a status of 0.2%, and when this status bar makes all the way to 1, well, this image will be accepted by OpenLitterMap, and all of the charts, maps, data, lists of locations, etc. will all be updated. So this image does have one item, so I can say this is true, and the OpenLitterMap community can verify that this is true. This is also true. We get the same one again, and you can see that I only have one verification remaining for today, and now we're done, and I'm out of verifications for today. And the reason this is done is to stop cheating, to make sure that any verification that is submitted is used hopefully appropriately. So as well as this, you can change your settings. You have the ability to change your password, to update your details, to delete your account, but please don't. Your payments, this needs to be configured. I'll have that done shortly. So if you're on a free account, you will be able to sign up for a subscription, and you are able to disconnect your subscription at the click of a button. It's made very easy. And finally, your privacy is made public. However, it's made anonymous by default, and if you wish, you can change that to anonymous, or you want to just credit your username or organization, or you can credit your full name. You can do that. So that's a basic rundown on OpenLitterMap. I hope you like it. I hope you'll use it, and I hope that you'll be able to stop plastic entering the ocean, which is expected to increase from 8 to 20 million tons in 2010 to up to, I believe, 70 million tons is the expected figure of plastic that's expected to enter the ocean by 2025. That's assuming current trends continue. So let's try and change those trends, and let's try and have a healthy, habitable planet for the rest of our future. So if you like the sound of that, sign up to OpenLitterMap, and I wish you well. Thank you very much, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, OpenLitterMap, like and share, and just one image a day, guys. That's all it takes to keep